Alright, welcome back, beautiful people. So we're here with Rajin, the newest god, at least of this recording. He is a Japanese mage. Now before I go into building him, I just want to say a couple things that, for one, this is the day one of the release patch for him, so some of his scalings could change, and the same goes for items throughout Season 3. Items can change, so just be aware of that if you're watching way out in the future. So let's go ahead and build Rajin. Now, majority of the mages, the mage meta, as you would say right now, is just go all burst damage. The reason being is Doom Orb is back in Season 3, and Season 2 wasn't that great. Now it's a lot better. As you can see, I have it fully stacked at 50 stacks, gives 140 magical power. And another reason why mages just build all burst damage and items is because cooldown reduction items across the board have been nerfed. So it's a bit harder to get that full cooldown reduction as you normally would back in Season 2. So, if you're going to Conquest, maybe Clash or whatever, you definitely want to go with the starter item, and the best bet is Vamp Shroud. If you just go to the recommended tab and the starter, this is perfect purification as your first relic. Vamp Shroud, Lost Artifact will build into Doom Orb. So just go with the Lost Artifact and then a potion of your choosing, mana or health. Now with that Lost Artifact, with Rajin having a leap, you don't have to kind of prioritize rushing boots. Instead you can just rush Doom Orb right away and start building stacks right away. So go ahead and build into Doom Orb. Next, boots, since we're going burst mage, go with the Shoes of Magi. And another reason why you probably wouldn't want to build like a cooldown, like full cooldown reduction Rajin, is because he's not too much of a utility-based mage like, let's say, Giannis, where he has speed buffs for the team, he has portals that are really useful, things like that. So he's just all burst damage, that's why we're building this way. So we got Shoes of the Magi. Next, you definitely want to have a penetration item if you're looking to do any damage in Smite. Now, Spear of Magus has been changed a little bit from Season 2 to Season 3, or actually it was still changed in Season 3. But now it's all flat magical protection removal. It's no longer percentage based. With that being said, if you're fighting a heavy protection team comp, like really tanky, like warriors and guardians like that, then you probably want to go Obsidian Shard because it's percentage based. If not, if you're fighting a basic team where people aren't really building a lot of magical protection, then you can just go into Spear of Magus. Or you can go into building both. I mean, if you're going to build both penetration items, you probably want to wait on Obsidian Shard till later on. But let's just go with the Spear of Magus. Now, with that being said, if the match is going like it's a really fast-paced match and it's just a lot of fights, things like that, you could probably rush right to Hoodie, and this is your pretty basic core 4 items you want to go into. Now, if the match is kind of slow-paced, then you have time and you can wait and put off Rod to Hoodie till later. So with that being said, you can go into a Book of Thoth. It might be a little late, technically, for stacking items, but with Book of Thoth, it's different. It's just based off mana, so you level up. Every time you level up, you get more mana, and with your base mana, it still helps with the Book of Thoth. And for a cheaper price than Rod to Hoodie, you get a lot of magical power from it, so you can go into Book of Thoth. Or if you really want to, you can go into the Cronus Pennant. 20%, not too bad. Cooldown reduction is great, not only for utility guys, but also for team fight heavy matches where there's a lot of team fights and you need to have abilities on time or just up in time to make plays, things like that. So you can go to the Cronus Pennant, and then you can go into Ride to Hoodie. And then you could probably, if you really want to max your cooldown reduction, you would do it like this. You get the Cronus Pennant and the breastplate, that's 40%. And then you also have, you know, a little bit tanky with physical protections. If not, if you just want to go pure burst damage, then you probably go into the Book of Thoth, Rod to Hoodie. I mean, imagine the Book of Thoth was over here, not in the beginning. And yeah, and then you probably just go like Soul Reaver last time, something like that. Soul Reaver with the Book of Thoth, great choice because the Soul Reaver gives mana, and the Book of Thoth it just feeds off of mana. Or another thing that you can do, with Polygon being buffed from Season 2 to Season 3, and with Doom Orb in the meta right now, the Polynomicon might not be too bad of a choice, because it's 75% of your base magical power as additional damage on your next basic attack. So, let's see if we can quickly get somewhere. So you put your 2, and then you just press 1, and then you do another auto attack right after, and that's a huge burst of damage right there. So you could do something like that. You could play with the Polynomicon on one of your late game items, something like that. Now let's kind of just back it all up and do something for like Arena or another casual game mode. Honestly, the build doesn't change. The only difference from Conquest to casual game modes like Arena is you don't pick up Vampiric Shroud. So it will look something like this. Choosing Magi. You could probably go into Doom Orb. Now, to say, like, if you're new to the game, I probably wouldn't recommend picking up Doom Orb. The reason being is you die, you lose half of your stack, so if you're dying a lot, it's just not worth it to pick it up. Instead, just pick up Chronos Pendant in its place. But if you're not dying a whole lot and you can manage to keep your stacks at a decent level, then go Doom Orb still. Again, the Penetration, Spear of the Magus, or Obsidian Shard, whichever one you need for your team fight. And then you can go into, still, you can rush these 2 items here. And then you can go into, like, whatever. These are your basic damage dealing items, really. Nothing really changes. Again, if you want full cooldown reduction, Chronos Pendant, and then the Breastplate. Now, the good thing about these cooldown reduction items is that they're not too pricey, so it's still pretty easy to build into these late game. And now, regardless of these last couple items, after you have your full build, I would recommend selling Doom Orb and then picking up the Spear of Desolation in its place. The reason being is once you're full build, you're probably doing a lot of team fights, and if you die, you're losing, you know, just magical power for no reason. And yeah, full build, there's no other items to build into. Just sell Doom Orb and you get some cash back, and just invest the Spear of the Magus, or sorry, Spear of the Desolation, because it doesn't have stacks, obviously, and it's just a flat 120 magical power, and you have extra penetration. So it's just a better and safer bet late game. So that pretty much wraps it up for the build video for Rajin. This goes for most burst mages. Hopefully it wasn't too long, and hopefully it was just helpful for any newer players out there. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.